Pingyao County in Shanxi, one of China's 3 ancient cities, is a renowned World Heritage Site. Most of these beautiful architectures are the ancestral property of many families that have been there for over a century, but now they're being nationalized. The local government has claimed that it will forcibly enforce the law if they do not cooperate. In fact, this controversy has been going on for more than 10 years. In 1958, the Chinese Communist Party announced the Great Leap movement, and communization operations took place across China. In order to show support to the government, Pingyao County's people leased their properties to the country and received a small number of subsidies. In 1966, the CCP started the Cultural Revolution. Landlords, business owners, capitalists, and many others were persecuted. Meanwhile, all subsidies to Pingyao were stopped, and people dared not complain for fear of being branded as reactionaries and being imprisoned or even killed. After the Cultural Revolution, all these properties were taken over by the government. People in Pingyao said, after 3 generations of struggling to defend their rights, these property rights were returned in 2009, when people happily applied for the home ownership certificate. What was once lost had been regained. However, on July 3rd, the decision to revoke the Notice of Implementation of Private Property Rights was issued by the Pingyao County government, saying 5 cities in Shanxi province were included as the target of transformation, and all the private rental housing included in the transformation will belong to the state. The decision letter issued by the Pingyao County government requires the person notified to vacate the property within 15 days and surrender all the property warrants, failing which, compulsory measures will be taken to repossess the property. The incident was seen as a sign that the Communist Party was once again pursuing communization. Residents revealed that the police came on July 9th and locked most of the house. When the residents tried to communicate with them, they brutally slapped an 80-year-old man and arrested and locked them up for more than an hour in the police station. Afterward, residents tried to go back to their house and cut open the chain the police used to lock the door.
就是这些词汇，他就来了，任何证件不亮，我不知道他们是哪里的，但是看这个穿的衣服，好像应该是公安局的、城管的。对，周围的人赶紧躲开点，他们要打人的啊！上回我们推了80岁的老人，打了我家老公，报了110，1个月没有任何一个字的回复，这就是平遥县政府，这就是平遥县政府恶霸、土匪、流氓。
At midnight on August 29th, police came again and locked the houses from the outside. By this time, the owners had appealed to the court and the case was accepted, but still could not stop the police action.
来，出去吧，出去吧，出去吧！你们不要看热闹。你看，这是共产党的警察执法的哈。
厂房的一个现场，你进来没用。
那有点拐棍刚好啊。
啊，不用，你们出去吧，小心你也打了你们更麻烦，我们赔不起，你们出去吧，出去吧。
厂房的现场不是游客观望的地方哈，你这个有理由。
哎，你看这警察厉害不？我们厉害，我们保护你的安全了。你打了人家打了你，我们赔你啊，我们赔不起。出去吧，出去吧，出去吧啊！
14 owners tried to petition the Shanxi provincial government last month to stop the illegal actions of the Pingyao County government, but they were put into a police van by special police in the middle of the night and locked in the Pingyao police station until 3 a.m. The police threatened the homeowners that they would be detained if they went to the provincial capital to petition again. Why did the government suddenly decide to revoke the promised policy? Some homeowners said that the government of Pingyao has long been jealous of the fact that the tourism industry is well developed and local people had become rich. It always wants a bigger piece of the pie, and now turned its attention to people's property. In addition, there is a unique model of tourism in China, the official reception, which means that visitors are received at government expense, often state agencies, officers, senior executives of large enterprises, or famous figures and their relatives who can enjoy free entry to scenic spots, private transportation, all-inclusive meals and accommodation, as well as gifts. This kind of tourism has flooded into Pingyao County since 1997, when it was listed as a World Cultural Heritage Site. In 2003, the person in charge of the county management committee told the media that the government receives about $4 million USD in dividends each year from ticket revenues, far less than it spends, and in 2010, the fiscal deficit had exceeded $286 million USD. It is believed that these homes belong to wealthy families with a social status established hundreds of years ago in the Ming and Qing dynasty, and have been handed down from generation to generation. The market value of these houses now is very high, sometimes exceeding 3 million USD. In fact, the expropriation of land, houses, and even building demolitions are commonplace in China. This is not only happening in remote areas, but also in big cities like Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangzhou. Most of the incidents share a common denominator. Once the government has decided on a policy, those most affected have little or no recourse, and usually without public consultation or explanation. Not only the underprivileged, but also the middle class and even the government officers have no recourse to the iron fist of socialism. One of the most famous examples is the Shantung village. Once a poor village, the local government approved the development of real estate in the Shantung village in the 1990s. The village is only 30 minutes away from downtown Beijing. The prestigious location and beautiful environment attracted a large number of middle-class, business owners, government officials, even celebrities to move to the area, which gradually developed the village into an art and cultural center. The village was awarded the honorary title of Capital Civilized Village and Civilized Model Village in 2007, and was named the most beautiful village in Beijing in 2007, and served as the Beijing Olympic Tourism Reception Village in 2008. In October 2019, under the name of demolishing illegal structures, the county government demanded that the village demolish all of its homes within 3 days or the government would do so. While the town government has been supporting the development of the village for years, as well as certifying and stamping the real estate certificates and collecting management fees and stamp duty, no one expected the policy could be changed all of a sudden. In just one night, tens of thousands of people lost their homes and caused more than 1.4 billion USD financial loss. This is only one of the countless villages that have been forcibly demolished.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ge Dezhong. I'm 77 years old. I live in 18万 Guanyin Town, Nantong City, Jiangsu Province, China. Today is 23 May. This morning, hundreds of robbers surrounded my house. Several of them broke into the door, robbed my iPhone. They want my land urgently because they want to sell the land for a lot of money.
These incidents reflect the opacity and corruption in China's politics and economy. According to state law, urban land in China is owned by the state, while rural land is collectively owned and cannot be traded with non-rural households. In recent years, soaring property prices and land appreciation in and around cities have led to the rise of small property rights, houses in rural areas, which are often sold to city dwellers with rural or local government guarantees. On August 11th this year, 140 small property rights houses were demolished in the suburbs of Beijing, and no matter how much the residents protested, they could not stop their homes from turning into a pile of rubble. Some residents said the demolition teams and police suddenly arrived in the middle of the night, banged on the doors of the residents and drove them out of their homes, and then began demolishing their houses.
乌烟瘴气，你看看啊，我这个一点一点的往前走，10年都改造不了。看看啊，这是我朋友家，看看。
How can the authority benefit from these actions? Land belonged to private individuals before the establishment of the CCP regime. As the CCP took over, private property was seized in the name of the state after a number of political campaigns. Currently, people in China can only purchase 70 years of ownership of land and real estate, which will become state property afterwards. Land has always been a major source of revenue for the CCP government. According to 2018 statistics, the revenue from land sales in China amounted to 0.92 trillion USD, which local general public budget revenue for the same period was about 1.4 trillion. The revenue from local land sales is equivalent to 2/3 of local finances, with some places even accounting for over 80%. Xu Zhangrun, a former law professor at Tsinghua University in Beijing, said, "The Chinese regime has been going crazy in the past 2 years, demolishing people's houses everywhere, saying it wants to increase the land reserve, but actually it wants to make profits from the appreciation of the land." In a communist country, a single word of national interest can erase, instantly, a lifetime of work. If people lost the most basic right to have private property, what else would they fight for?